I was the outlier in a women's prison. While everyone else smoked during their break, I took the chance to train. While they gossiped, I worked on my back muscles. Every time it was my turn to cook porridge, I used the opportunity to build my arm strength. Even in the pouring rain, I ran 5 kilometers every day. I didn't do this to escape. I did it for revenge. One day, my husband mysteriously disappeared. All that was left at the scene was a pool of blood and a sharp little knife. The police quickly found a massive life insurance policy. The beneficiary was me. I had no way to explain. Before I was locked up, I entrusted my son to my best friend. I gave her the compensation money for living expenses. But before I knew it, she too disappeared. I desperately reached out to her. I urgently asked my son to listen to the phone.
Daddy!
Nick? Nick? But the call was suddenly cut off. When I tried again, no one answered. That was when I realized this was all part of a conspiracy between my husband and my best friend. They took the compensation money, and they stole my son. After I found out the truth, I was lost, until one of my fellow inmates reminded me, the law can't charge the same person twice for the same crime. I was already in prison for my husband's death.
You can walk right up to him in Times Square, put a gun to his head, and pull the fucking trigger, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
From then on, I went all in on fitness. I threw myself into labor. 6 years later, I finally got parole. I immediately started looking for my friend. She was a teacher. If I could get into the education system, I'd find her a new job. But when I searched, I was stunned. There were over 1,000 people with the same name. It was impossible to track her down one by one. I had no choice but to take risks. I snuck into the school she once worked at. In the records room, I found her social security number. Just as I grabbed it, the police found me. But I wasn't scared. The 6 years of hard training paid off. I leaped from the second floor, climbed over the wire fence, and ran like a maniac. I led the police car to the beach. Using the slope, I flipped the car over, but in the end, I was overpowered and caught. On the way back, I tried to plead my case, saying I was innocent, but the officer coldly said, "Every prisoner says that." He cuffed me to the car and leisurely drank his coffee, but he forgot to take out the car keys. I looked at the handcuffs, then at the water pipe. I hit the gas. Sparks flew, but the handcuffs wouldn't budge. I reversed and tried again. Still nothing. But the door handle loosened. I yanked it with all my might. The officer heard and rushed over. I made a bold move and drove the car into the sea. As things took a turn, he uncuffed me and brought me to the surface, but he didn't expect it. I grabbed his gun. With the strength I built over 6 years, I swam back to land. I hopped into a passing car, and my revenge journey continued.